What's going on, y'all? So I'm back with some updates. Um, some updates on this whole Cardi B, Tasha K fiasco. I'll try to make this quick. I don't want to be on here long. I just want to really make a quick video because I've been intending to make a video for a very long time, and it's always got pushed in the back burner. But now I finally have a little time. Well, I'm actually carving out a little time to get this done, right? Because I'm sitting here and I'm trying to understand why the other bloggers aren't saying the same things I'm saying or aren't thinking some of the same things I'm thinking, because I've seen the other videos, but none of the other bloggers are coming to the conclusions that I'm coming to. And or if they are, they just aren't talking about it. So I'm trying to figure out if I'm just totally off, if I'm just totally wrong about this whole situation. If you guys think I've been off on some of the comments I made about this Cardi B, Tasha K situation, I want to know. If you think I've been off on the last few videos I've done, please post a comment below and give me an explanation as to why. Now, with that said, everything in this video is alleged. Every single thing is alleged. I am going to read some facts into this video, which will be the statutes and the codes and things of that nature. But again, it's just things that I'm deducing. I'm going to come to my own conclusions and my own theories as to what's going to happen. None of the allegations, like everything in this video, is alleged, and I'm going to make some conclusions or allegations, and it's not necessarily true, right? So with that said, let's go ahead and get on with it. So the recent update is that Cardi B tried to collect $1,000 from Tasha K, and basically Tasha K was able to snatch that money out of her account and give it to some of her channel supporters, right? So that's that. And then actually before that, what I saw on the internet was a video of Tasha K, and the caption reads, "How dare they send a car like this to take me after I deposited 6 million CFA into their bank," right? Now, if I can remember correctly, that statement was made around the same time that she was in Mali. Don't quote me on that. I'm not saying that the bank in question is in Mali. I don't know where the hell the bank is. And basically, if we want to look at how much money 600 million CFA is, all you have to do is just go to Google and basically do a look up currency conversion, and you'll come to find out that 600 million CFA is equivalent to $889,000. Now, to me, that's a lot of damn money, right? And I could retire off that money. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I know how to work with money, and I can make $889 million work, and I'd be done for the rest of my life, right? Um, but I don't know where she deposited the money, and basically, I don't even know if this video is real, right? This video is just something that's been posted on the internet. It looks like it's coming from Unwind with Tasha K. It looks like it's coming from her Instagram account, right? So it looks like it's from Tasha K. But you know how the internet is. There's a lot of hackers. There's a lot of fraudsters out there. They'll somehow figure out a way to hack her account and post something, or they'll figure out a way to basically hack us and put something out there and make us think this is coming from Tasha K. So I'm just throwing it out there because you have to give people the benefit of the doubt. I don't know if this shit is real or not, right? All I know is that it has her picture, and it basically says, "How dare they send a car like this to take me after I deposit 6 million CFA into their bank." And 6 million CFA is $889,000, a hell of a lot of money. The money could have made a huge dent in the money that she owes Cardi B, right? Because I think she owes Cardi B 3.8 million. That 889,000 probably would have, and I'm just going to round up, it would have basically took the money down to 2.8 million, right? So it would have been a huge dent for Cardi B. Now, again, I've said this in other videos. I don't think Cardi B needs the money. I don't think Cardi B wants the money. What I think Cardi B wants is to basically punish this bitch. That's what she wants. I think she wants to basically put her foot in Tasha K's ass for dragging her image and her name across the internet like that. So for the most part, I think she is doing this. She's going after Tasha K and she's taking the accounts because she wants to basically make an example out of Tasha K. And part of it may just be that, she just feels that she's been done wrong and she just wants justice. So she's going to go all the way through with it just to make sure that she gets the justice she wants. The problem is that we don't know if any of this stuff is real again. So we're just going to go ahead and pretend that Tasha K indeed did put $600 million into a foreign African bank. We're going to pretend that that actually did happen, and that creates a huge problem for Cardi B because now we get into a situation where you're trying to collect money from a judgment which is in the United States, and you're trying to get money from someone overseas. Now, anytime you have a situation like this, whether it be the United States, someone in the United States trying to collect on a United States judgment in another country overseas, or a person overseas trying to collect money in the United States, the chances can go up or down depending on the situation. I would say if it's a situation, and this is my own personal opinion, it's not fact based. This is just my own guess. I did some reading on the internet, and I've actually seen how these things go a few times in court. And in my own personal opinion, I think it's your chances of actually collecting money on a judgment that was gained in the United States against someone who moves to another country will take, let's say, United Kingdom. I think your chances go down, and I think the process gets a little complicated because what you have to do is that you have to go over to the United Kingdom and you have to register that judgment. And sometimes, depending on the country, it can almost be like relitigating the whole thing over again. So it's like it would just be a pain in the ass, right? But I think in this situation, excuse me, in this situation, you have somebody like Cardi B who is basically swimming in money. She won't give a fuck, right? So if you move to the United Kingdom and you piss Cardi B off and she got a judgment on your ass, she don't give a fuck. She finna go and collect that money from your ass in the United Kingdom, and she not gonna have a problem paying whatever it costs to basically collect. Because like I said, Cardi B, in my personal opinion, I don't know Cardi B, but I think Cardi B is swimming in money. You have to think about who you're dealing with. You're dealing with mega superstars. These people can piss $1 million and not even give a fuck, right? So I think when it comes down to a country like United Kingdom, a country like Germany, Austria, France, Italy, places like that, your chances go down, but you still have a decent chance, so long as that person is actually living in that country and they're just not passing through. Because let's face it, sometimes you have people who are transient, and I myself used to be transient at one point. And they're moving from one country to another, so they can share the country, like they're changing a t-shirt or something like that. It's no big deal because they're set up to move from country to country. Maybe they have relatives in the United Kingdom, and they have an aunt in France, and then they got a brother in Spain. There's actually people like that in Europe, right? So they migrate from one location to another, like they're changing shirts, right? Um, so the problem comes in when you're trying to collect from a person that's in the country that basically, I hate to say this word, it's a nasty word, but the problem comes in when you're collecting from a person that's in a third world country, right? And my personal opinion, Africa is one of the richest countries in the world, but let's face it, it's been colonized, it's been robbed, and a lot of places in Africa are undeveloped. So if we just click on Mali, we can get an idea what Mali would be like, as compared to, living in a place in the United States. I'm not saying that, it's a bad place or anything like that. I'm just saying that it's is not necessarily a developed country, right? And we're not going to get off on in a tangent about Africa versus United States and how United States robbed Africa along with several other European countries and all this other type of stuff. But to stay in focus, to stay in context, this are some of the pictures I believe are coming from Mali. So it's going to be hard as hell trying to get money from somebody from a bank in Mali. It would be damn near impossible because they'll take that United States judgment and they will fucking wipe their ass with that shit, right? Um, Now, in my personal opinion, I think Tasha K is going to be smart enough that if she does have money in a bank in Mali, she'll move that shit out on the first hint of trouble, right? So it's going to be tricky. It's going to be very tricky for Cardi B to actually get money from Tasha K. Excuse me, right? But there are statutes out there that Cardi B could use, right? So one of the statutes that she could use is the Voidable transaction statute, which is a statute that's in Georgia and is similar to the statute that I talked about in my other video, where I talked about how a person can be jailed in the state of Illinois for owing money. All right, there's no such thing as debtor's prison, but when you start hiding shit, trying to get away from paying, that's a totally different story. They'll lock your ass up for that, and they have several tools to do it. So I decided to actually look at some of Georgia's laws and see what tools are available for Cardi B to lock Tasha's ass up. So basically, Georgia voidable transaction statute is similar to the Illinois fraudulent conveyance statute. And it reads pretty much the same. It basically says voidable transfer determination of actual intent. Excuse me. And it goes on. A transfer made or obligation incurred by a debtor is voidable, meaning basically, it's null and void. That transfer has to be undone. A transfer made or obligation incurred by a debtor is voidable as to a creditor, whether the creditor's claim arose before or after the transfer was made or the obligation was incurred. If the debtor made the transfer or incurred the obligation, one, with the actual intent to hinder, delay, or defraud the creditor of the debt, right? Now, we're not going to read all this, right? We're not going to read all this. I just wanted to point it out that, there are solutions for Cardi B, right? First off, if what we saw is true, as a matter of fact, we are going, like I said, this is a fantasy scenario. So we're going to pretend that this is true, that Tasha K did move $889,000 to some bank in Africa, we don't know where. We can already see that she has already violated this statute, right? Because it's an intent. In my personal opinion, it's an intent to defraud Cardi B, because you got the money, and you should just go ahead and hand that money over to her, or at least go to court and say, well, look, I got $889,000. I do need money to eat, to live, to feed my kids. And I can see how she doesn't want to, bow down to Tasha K and ask, I'm sorry, she doesn't want to bow down to Cardi B and ask Cardi B for mercy. I was actually debating with someone on their channel, I forget their name, where they were saying that Cardi B can get a payment plan. And not Cardi B, Tasha K could get a payment plan on this debt. And I said, no, Tasha K cannot get a payment plan, because in order to get a payment plan, you have to go to your creditor, in this case Cardi B, and make a agreement with Cardi B. And that's gonna be a huge shot to Tasha K's ego to go to Cardi B and say, "Look, I fucked up. I'm so sorry I did this. I apologize. Can we get a payment plan? Can we work some shit out?" Right? It's going to be a huge thing to do that, right? And then when you go to court, the court is going to want to see that you've done that, that you at least attempted to make an agreement with Cardi B. And even if they haven't, then, I mean, even if you haven't, you could still probably go to court and just say, "Hey, look, I got $889,000. That's all I have. If you take all that, I won't be able to feed my kids. I won't be able to eat. I won't be able to keep a roof over my head. This is the amount of money that I'm making from my business, and let's do a payment plan." She could still possibly go to court, and she could still possibly ask the judge for a reasonable payment plan. But you best believe that the court is going to put a judgment in for most of all that shit, right? They'll probably let her keep some money, because it's going to be almost impossible for me to believe that the court is just going to put you out in the streets like that. And even though Cardi B doesn't need the money, she just wants to destroy. My personal opinion, I don't know that for sure, but Cardi B just wants to put her foot up Tasha K's ass. So she is probably going to want to take everything Tasha K has. The court probably wouldn't let that happen, right? The court would probably say, "Okay, this woman needs something so that she could keep a roof over her head, and she would need something to feed her kids." And plus, the history of collecting judgments, you never want to take everything a person has so that they can never get off their, so that they're on the ground and they can never get up. Because how are they to pay you if you crush them like that? They would never be able to pay you, right? So the court is probably going to lean in the direction where they're going to let Tasha K keep something, in my personal opinion, whereas Cardi B is probably not going to give a flying fuck unless Tasha K apologizes, and even then she probably won't give a flying fuck. But anyway, Cardi B can basically go to court, and she can basically exercise this voidable transaction statute. But again, even though she can go back to court under that statute, we still have a problem, because now, even though you have proof, right? Allegedly, right? I mean, this isn't really good proof, because it's just a posting on the internet. What Cardi B would have to do is probably have to get some technical information to make sure Tasha K actually posted this. She could subpoena the Instagram account. She can basically subpoena um, Tasha K's phone records, and she can confirm that it came from Tasha K's phone. But even that still isn't proof, because somebody could have had her phone and posted this, so it gets really tricky. But I mean, a reasonable person is going to believe that this is actually real. Tasha K did post it. And because, Tasha K, this is all over Instagram, and Tasha K hasn't come out and said anything to refute it. So a reasonable person is going to believe that she posted that shit. So, but it really doesn't matter, because how are you going to collect? So let's say you do, and you do get declared that it was a fraudulent transfer. How do you get the money back? Right? That statute is all about voiding out whatever transaction happened where the person tried to transfer the money, or buy a property, or put it in their mama's name, or buy a house for their mama. You get what I'm saying? They can void that out and say, "No, we taking that money back. That money is going to go right back to Cardi B, because that's where it should have went in the first place." So the courts can do that. But how the fuck are you gonna get some money out of Molly, assuming that's it? That is where she put the money at. You can't, right? You can't get that money, right? So what are we left with, right? What are we left with? We are left with, hold on, wait for it. We are left with 16,951, destruction, removal, concealment, encumbrance, or transfer of property subject to security interest. And what is a security interest? A security interest, I looked this shit up for you guys. A security interest is an enforceable claim or lien which gives a creditor the right to repossess all or part of a property if the debtor fails in making payments or otherwise performs their obligations, right? So basically, we have this statute that Cardi B can use, right? And then it says, except as provided in subsection B of this code section, a person who destroys, removes, conceals, or encumbers, transfers, or otherwise deals with property subject to a security interest with the intent to hinder enforcement of that interest shall be guilty of a misdemeanor. Now, I have to admit it's pretty late, and I did some quick research here, but I believe this would also apply to a judgment, right? So this is actually under Official Code of Georgia, annotated Title 16, Crimes and Offenses, Chapter 9, Forgery, Fraudulent Practices, Article 4, Fraud and Related Offenses. Like I said, people have been trying to avoid court judgment since the dawn of courts, since courts were in existence. Fuck you, I ain't paying that shit. I'm finna move over here. So they have laws for that, and they have different ways of dealing with people like that. So what I imagine is going to happen, and this is what I don't know why other bloggers aren't talking about this, but what I imagine is going to happen, and it's inevitable. It is fucking inevitable because Tasha K in our fantasy world has posted this, right? We don't know if she actually did, but we're just going to agree that she did, for the sake of argument, for the sake of this argument, right? So Tasha K has posted this. So she has basically admitted that she's transferring money over to an African bank. And we're only going to assume, any reasonable person is going to assume that you're trying to avoid paying the debt because you didn't give that $889 to Cardi. So now Cardi get a chance to get your ass convicted of the crime, right? I think this is what's going to happen. Let me know if you think this is going to happen, right? Because there's no way in hell that they're going to be able to get fucking money in a African bank. I just don't see it happening. And as soon as they do try to get the money, someone can just go ahead and move the money somewhere else. So to me, it looks like what Tasha K is doing, and this is my speculation here. I'm just throwing this here as my own speculation. To me, it looks like what Tasha K is doing is that she is setting herself up so that she can have a bank account overseas that can't be touched and that she can use to basically carry out her business. So I imagine a scenario where Tasha K has her YouTube bank account to pay out to the bank in Africa, and then she can use the modern day banking tools to basically withdraw money from the account. All she needs is an ATM card, and she can go anywhere in the world and withdraw money from that account. And if she doesn't have an ATM card from that bank, I'm pretty sure they have internet banking, right? She can transfer the money. And if they don't, she can fucking pick up the phone. Yeah, transfer, $5,000 to my my bank account in France. Yeah. And then use her Spain bank account, a French bank account to go and withdraw the money in the United States. I mean, there's all different types of ways of moving money around. I mean, I'm going to admit I'm not a sophisticated bank fraudster. I don't know anything about that. But come on, y'all. I mean, we live in a modern day time. You know damn well you can go into another country and get another bank account and move some shit around. Like, I don't do stuff like that, but I'm just saying that it can be done, right? It can be done, and there's no, it's not even hard to do, right? Especially since her husband is probably a citizen of Mali, at least from what I'm finding on the internet. So he has a right to open up a bank account, so the only missing piece is probably a stable bank in Europe where you can transfer money back and forth to your African bank account, or hell, even just transfer money back and forth from your African bank account to the U.S. Right? There's probably all different type of ways to transfer money around, right? And half the times you don't even need to necessarily get the cash. You can just put that shit in an electronic account or somewhere. Like you can probably get that shit into PayPal, get money out of your African account, put it in PayPal, transfer that shit over, or what's that? Or your Cash App. You can probably do all your banking through Cash App, right? So this shit is sophisticated, but it's simple. Anybody can do it. So I don't know. I wonder why other bloggers aren't talking about this, because although it's going to be almost impossible to collect this money at this point, it's going to be pretty damn easy to lock Tasha K's ass up. Now, again, in the other video, I pointed out that they don't necessarily imprison you for the debt. They imprison you for concealing your money. They imprison you for not handing over your money, right? Because hopefully Tasha K is not going to try to continue to make YouTube videos. We all know that she is. She's making YouTube videos. And hopefully she's going to go ahead and start paying Cardi B. Because if she continues to do this bullshit where she's not paying, it's not going to take long for Cardi B to go and start using some of these other tactics to collect from her ass. It's not going to take long because, bitch, you making money, and we know you making money because you posting videos on YouTube and you getting what, 119K, 61K views, 61,000 views, 119,000 views, 21,000 views, 12,000 views. We know you making money, right? And then I think somebody posted on God, what is this lady's name? I can't remember her name. Social Blade. Let me see here. There was one lady. She's a blogger. She had a Social Blade access denied. Get the fuck out of here. What the hell is going on? I wanted to show you guys some stats. There's this one lady. I forget her name. I'm going to try to remember it, and I'm going to try to post her name down in the comments. But she went to Social Blade, and she basically said that Tasha K, I don't know why I can't get on Social Blade. What the fuck? I don't know why I can't get on this motherfucker. But basically, long story short, she went to Social Blade and she deduced that Tasha K was only making $100,000 a year from her YouTube account. And I think the lead attorney posted in the comments and basically said the Social Blade information is not correct, right? So it's hard to say how much Tasha K is actually getting at this point, but we know she's getting something, because she's getting views. So because she's getting views, she need to be paying. You got to pay this shit. There's no way around it. Either you got to post a bond, or you got to pay. So now that Cardi B has basically tried to execute a bond to take her bank account, I wonder how long it's going to take for Cardi B to do found something to drag Tasha K's ass back into court, into a totally different procedure now, a collection procedure, and to basically get Tasha K ass locked up, right? Because what's going to happen is that they're going to file a motion. I think in Illinois it would probably be I'm guessing citation to discover assets, right? That's what it would be called in Illinois, right? A judgment creditor or his or her successor in interest, when that interest is made to appear to appear on the record, is entitled to prosecute citation to discover assets for the purposes of examining the judgment of the debtor and any other person to discover the assets or income. So Cardi B is going to file something like this in Georgia. Let's see what it'll be called in Georgia. But basically, it's a way of saying it's time to pay. Bring your ass to court, so we can turn your ass upside down and shake how much money, See how much money we can get out of you when we shake your ass upside down. Let me see. I'm kind of torpid tonight because it's way past my bedtime. So I know I'm not making sense of half the shit I'm saying, but you got to bear with me. So it looks like in Georgia, according to Justia, final remedies and special proceedings, execution, discovery, and aid thereof. So Georgia, it's just kind of funny how each state does shit, calls shit by different names. Um, The process to enforce a judgment for a payment of money shall be a writ of execution unless a court directs otherwise in aid of the judgment or execution, the judgment or creditor or his successor in interest when the interest is paid appears. I'm sorry. When the interest appears of record, may do any or all the following: examine any persons, including the judgment debtor, by taking depositions or propounding interrogatories. Right? Compel the production of documents. Bitch, what the fuck you mean you posted $889,000 in an African bank? Are you out your fucking mind? What bank did you put it in? Right? Oh, you're not going to answer? Lock her ass up. Upon showing of reasonable necessity, obtaining permission from a court of a competent jurisdiction to enter upon that part of real property belonging to or unlawfully occupied by the debtor, in which is not used as a residence, and which property is not bona fide and lawful possession of another. Right? So look, I don't know why people aren't talking about this. People are posting shit saying, "Oh, she basically only had $1,000 to her name." You know that motherfucker got more than $1,000 to her name. Come on now. You know that's bullshit. This woman has been posting on fucking YouTube probably for about since joined in August 5th, 2015. She has a highly successful channel, right? She has over 204 million views. You know she got more than $1,000. So that's where this shit is about to get real interesting, because I think what Cardi B is actually doing, she's actually just doing due diligence. She's going to go to court and she's going to say, I want to go ahead and file this motherfucking execution, discovery, and aid thereof. Weird fucking name. I'm just going to call it citations to discover assets because that's what they call it in Chicago. She's going to file that shit and she's going to compel, right? That's what the statute says. Compel the production of documents or things. She's going to compel Tasha K to come to court, bring your tax returns, and bring all your bank statements, bring all your YouTube payments or payment receipts. Bring every fucking thing. And if Tasha K does not show up, they're going to put a warrant out for her arrest. Mark my words. You heard it here first, because nobody else is talking about this shit. They're going to put a motherfucking warrant out for Tasha K. And that's when that shit is going to get real ugly. Because if Tasha K doesn't hand over the money that she doesn't basically hand that money over, the $889,000, they're just going to keep locking her ass up. They're going to produce a court order for her to hand over the money. And then if she doesn't hand over the money, they're going to basically issue a warrant out for her arrest, or they're going to hold her in contempt of court. They're going to keep locking her ass up until she hand that money over. Mark my words. Now, the only question is, and the reason they're going to do that is because they have to do this. They have to, right? The court system has to, because you can't allow a motherfucker to run around saying, "Ha ha ha, I moved my money over to an African bank. I ain't paying that bitch shit," and still walk around in the United States. You can't allow that shit. There's no way on God's green earth that they're going to allow some shit like that. Now, if Tasha K moves to Africa and she stays ass over in Africa and she refuses to pay, then there's literally nothing they can do until she comes back to the United States. But there's no way on God's green earth they finna allow your ass to post on motherfucking Instagram, allegedly. Again, this is a fantasy situation. There's no way on God's green earth that they gonna allow your ass to post shit on Instagram saying that you put $889,000 in an African bank and walk around in fucking Georgia and pretend like you're not finna pay Cardi B. That shit is not gonna fucking happen. That shit is just not gonna fucking happen. So that's it for this video. Let me know what you think. Do you think Tasha K actually put $889,000 in an African bank? Do you think Tasha K is stupid enough to do something like that and think she's going to get away with it? Do you think Cardi B is just simply going through the motions so that she can get Tasha K's ass right back in the court to discover what assets she has and basically force her to pay? And do you think if that shit actually happens, that Tasha K will then be stupid enough not to give up the money and end up going to jail? This shit is about to get interesting. Mark my words. I think the only thing that may be going in Tasha K's favor is that she has an appeal, and in her mind, she doesn't have to pay until the appeal is finished, which is 100% false. You have to put down the bond. Otherwise, they can start collecting. And I think that once the appeal is finished, Tasha K will just go ahead and start paying. I think that's probably what's going to happen. But then I read somewhere that Tasha K's appeal was dismissed. Let me see something here. Oh shit! Dismissed, denied. Let's see. What was it? Tasha K loses appeal and forced to pay Cardi B $4 million in damages for defamation. YouTube blogger was sued. What? Now, I don't even know if this shit is true because I actually haven't researched this stuff too tough. You guys let me know if the appeal was actually denied. I don't fucking know. Right? I'm usually good about researching shit like this, but shit, I'm gonna ask your ass to research some shit like this and get back with me. Comments below if this shit is true. It says Tasha K, Cardi B. Previously, Tasha K reported YouTube blogger appealed to get the nearly $4 million judgment against her thrown out. Tasha K real name. I ain't finna read all this shit. What's it say? Appeal denied. Let me see something here. Kibi is now forced to pay the invasion of privacy $4 million, and due to the appeal being dismissed without jurisdiction. Oh, why is it dismissed without jurisdiction? This gives the press rapper the freedom to garnish her wages. Why was it dismissed without jurisdiction? Because I thought the case was over. Huh. Well, this shit is about to get real interesting now. Very interesting. Because I think maybe the case wasn't over and she basically tried to appeal it before the case was over. I'm not certain here. I am not certain. But anyway, that's some shit for another time. So I guess basically Tasha K don't have motherfucking shit to stand on. So it's going to be interesting. Let me know what you guys think. You think Tasha K going to be stupid enough to put, $889,000 in an African bank and think she finna walk around and not pay Cardi? Or do you think Cardi is even aware? I would believe she's aware of this because she has lawyers, and lawyers are basically going to, and she probably has really good lawyers too because she's wealthy. So they probably have enough common sense to use every statute in the book to get the money. And I think they're going to actually end up basically forcing Tasha K's ass to come to court to collect from Cardi. So I don't know. I mean, do you think when this shit actually goes back to court on collection, do you think Tasha K is going to be stupid enough to try not to pay? That's it for this video. Please like, share, and subscribe.